Humans have this gift where we're able to learn from our past mistakes and correct what we've done wrong, but we've also been cursed with the ability to remain ignorant and not change anything. Call it the curse of free will. And if you'll just quickly pull out your notebook of recent tragic events and skip a little bit past 2001 to the year 2023, you'll see a recent event that happened where a submersible, a submarine, imploded while a bunch of billionaires were going to explore the wreckage of the Titanic. And this whole thing was funded and ran by a little company called OceanGate. And 2 days ago, one of the co-founders of OceanGate, the one who didn't get into the submarine that imploded, said that he wants to send 1,000 people to a floating colony on Venus by the year 2050. His name is Guillermo Solning, and if I had to guess what the motto he lives his life by, you know, that one saying he has hung up in his kitchen, his version of live, laugh, love, it would be, if you try and fail again. Because founding a company that led to the death of a handful of people, that wasn't enough. Let's shoot for the stars, literally and figuratively, and let's put 1,000 people's lives on the line by 2050 by sending them to an uninhabitable planet to live in a theoretical zone above Venus that he thinks that is supposed to be habitable for humans. I genuinely don't understand this, because why would you pick Venus? Just because to be different? Because Elon Musk already picked Mars and then NASA's already working on the moon? Did you just want to be different? Because why would you want floating colonies above Venus? That's going to create so many issues and so many problems that you just wouldn't have if you could find a planet that's actually inhabitable and you could actually sustain life on the planet's surface. Because Venus is so hostile. It's such a hostile environment. I'm not saying there's like aliens there with guns and whatnot ready to blast you with their Martian laser beams. There are like hurricane level winds very frequently on there, and not to mention it's insanely hot on that planet because it's very close to the sun. It's just not meant for us. Us humans, we don't need to be at Venus. But aside from me personally believing it's a stupid idea and it's definitely going to lead to people dying, I do want to mention that this guy, he wasn't the one that was directly involved with the Titanic submarine implosion. He stepped away from OceanGate back in 2013, but he was one of the founders along with Stockton Rush back in 2009. So he was pretty close buddies with the dude who was the one using that little PlayStation controller to control the submarine, who did die alongside the other billionaires. But this guy, after he stepped away from that little expedition, OceanGate, he is now the founder and chairman of this Venus trip, which he is calling Humans to Venus Foundation. And not two as in T-O, as in the letter 2, because that's how you make a catchy slogan. But aside from the name of the foundation, the logo also looks like a giant pair of balls with a tiny penis. But if we were to scroll through their website real quick, just to see what's poppin', see what's going on, it says, dedicated to exploring Venus as a potential long-term destination for humanity. Paradise in the clouds, approximately 50 kilometers above the Venusian surface. Gravity is almost identical to Earth. Radiation protection is similar to Earth. Pressure is almost identical to Earth, and the temperature is 25 degrees Celsius or 77 degrees Fahrenheit, which is a kind of warm day on Earth. But my main gripe, once again, with this is, if you have to go above the atmosphere into the clouds, above the clouds, to create your little floating civilizations with your blimps here, why do you want to even go to that planet in the first place? You're not even living on the planet. The planet is uninhabitable. You're living above the planet. Aside from me thinking it's a stupid idea to live above a planet instead of on a planet, a couple other bad things could happen that could put a monkey wrench in all this. Your supply line could get cut off. You're going to have to ship in supplies, presumably from Earth, because you can't go to Venus, and Venus doesn't have any food or anything we could use. So you're going to have it exported in. If that supply chain gets cut off, you're up the creek without a paddle. You're hurting. And on top of that, you're going to have limited space to move around in. Even if these blimps or whatever these floating cities are huge, it's not going to be like living on a planet. You can't just go wherever you want. You're going to be very restricted, very closed in. What if a civil war happens? What if people start revolting and killing each other? You're trapped. There's only so far you can go, only so much area you can hide in until you get found. I think I might be looking into this too much because I don't think this is ever going to become a reality. He says it's very doable by 2050, but I'm pressing X to doubt. I'm actually not even doubting. I'm straight up saying it's impossible. To go back to some stuff he said about this situation, a quote from him, he said, "Forget Ocean Gate, forget Totten, forget Stockton." Damn. Humanity could be on the verge of a big breakthrough and not take advantage of it because we as a species are going to get shut down and pushed back into the status quo. He said, "Forget that guy who died 12,000 feet under the ocean in an implosion in a submarine. I'm talking about me. ME is the only thing that matters now." That guy's dead. Fuck him. That is a crazy thing to say. Forget Ocean Gate, forget Totten, and forget Stockton. He's swimming with the fishes. But I also want to read this to you to let you know, I know I said it already that it was theoretical, but the outlet reported that the 57-year-old Argentine-born businessman pointed to findings by NASA that say there's a sliver of the Venusian atmosphere about 30 miles from the surface where humans could theoretically survive. So this is all going based on theory. I would imagine he's going to have to get some concrete proof before anyone's stupid enough to try to go and live above Venus. But still, there is a tiny sliver of the Venusian atmosphere about 30 miles above the surface where humans could possibly, maybe, a chance they could survive. Notice they use the word survive and not live comfortably, live a suitable life that you can enjoy, just survive. Because it's not going to be fun. There's absolutely no universe where you could pay me to go live above Venus. It just seems miserable. I would rather be stuck on Earth with Twitter than be above the Venusian atmosphere. But these floating colonies are going to have to be able to withstand sulfuric acids in Venus's clouds. And also, like I said, the insane 224 mile per hour hurricane force winds that are very characteristic of Venus. This guy is so delusionally confident about this stupid idea. He told Insider, "It is aspirational, but I think it's very doable by 2050. Are you smoking crack? Perhaps doing some ketamine? Or maybe partaking in black tar heroin? I want some of what you're smoking. I'll sell my car to smoke what you're smoking because that is Prom Delusion." And hey, mark my words right now. Put them on the 10 Commandments. If this guy can have people living above Venus in the atmosphere by 2050, I'll take my pants off on camera and run around naked. And apparently one of his leading motivating factors for doing this is that he says, "When I was 11 years old, I had a recurring dream that I was the commander of the first human community on Mars," Solning also wrote in the post. That is not English. I don't know. The more than 4 decades since then, doing whatever I could to help the community, to help humanity become a multi-planet species. It would help if I could read above a first grade reading level, or even speak. So one of his most motivating factors behind wanting to move people to Venus is a dream that he had about being a commander on Mars when he was 11. But since, like I said, someone already claimed going to Mars, that being Elon Musk, he said, Venus? That's another planet. Let's go live above Venus, because I can't, it'd be still in his idea if I said, let's go live on Mars. I gotta be doing something new and cool and innovative, dude. It's all about innovation as an entrepreneur, and I'm gonna live above Venus. Anyways, I think I've yelled about this situation enough. I think humans to Venus is a idea dumber than spit, if that wasn't obvious already. If you're one of the 1,000 colonists also that want to get on board with this, you yourself probably wop gum on top of the desk because you're so tragically idiotic. But I'll catch you in the next one.